During the Season 2 finale of the Gaming Gallery, we brought back everybody who'd ever narrated an episode to return in a grand, unnecessarily epic video discussing every Smash character at the time. Now that Fighters Pass 2 has been completed, over a year ago, it's time for the long-awaited follow-up to that original video. I'm your host for today, L8RG8R2U, and in today's episode of the Gaming Gallery, we'll be discussing some random fascinating trivia for every character in Fighters Pass 2. The first character introduced in Fighters Pass 2, Min from ARMS. While Sakurai was directly involved in deciding who'd be included in previous Smash games, Nintendo was the one who made the call for who'd be considered in the Fighter Pass. With this in mind, it's likely they specifically requested someone from ARMS to help promote Nintendo's newest fighting game IP. Across the ARMS roster, Sakurai narrowed down the choices between Min and Ninjara. When asking for feedback on which characters should be included, ARMS producer Kazuya Yabuki stated every fighter in ARMS is a protagonist. With that in mind though, he did specifically ask for Min as she was his favorite character. The Min presentation also marks the first and currently only time a game director has shown their house during Nintendo Direct, due to safety reasons involving the COVID-19 pandemic. Having the Smash team working remotely proved to be a real challenge, especially when it came to preventing leaks from spreading online. While Nintendo usually has the equipment to capture game footage during the presentations, for the Sakurai Presents going forward, they sent him his own capture equipment to record from home. Throughout the Super Smash Bros. Series, the development team has always reused the same voice clips for Captain Falcon. He only seemingly received new lines for his final Smash in Brawl going forward because they were originally planned to appear in the first game. For the Min trailer, the original voice actor reprised his role for the first time to record Captain Falcon eating Min's ramen noodles. Which, fun fact, in the world of ARMS, Min canonically works for the Nintendo Noodle House. And with all that, we were graced with ARMS awesomeness in Smash. It's Min for the win-win. That is such a cheesy line, I love it so much. Minecraft first released in 2011 and quickly became a gaming phenomenon, dominating the Let's Play scene as content creators share their creations online, and growing even more in popularity with the rise of live streaming. And while games like Five Nights at Freddy's and Fortnite would go on to dominate YouTube in later years, there's no denying how large of an impact Minecraft still has to this day. With releases on Xbox and PlayStation, many fans wondered if the game would ever receive a Wii U version. Having the gamepad to use for item management seems like it'd be a perfect fit. However, that just didn't happen for the longest time. And while other indie studios would develop their own clones such as Cube Life Island Survival, and Ucraft would fill the void. Which, by the way, did Ucraft ever actually come out? I remember it being everywhere on Nintendo news websites, but never saw anything come out of it. Nintendo fans wouldn't see the beloved block building classic for the longest time. And with Microsoft buying out Mojang in 2014, it seemed like the game would now be out of reach for Nintendo fans for good. Until a year later when Minecraft Wii U version was announced. And while the gamepad integration was admittedly a little lame, this was still a pretty solid version that introduced all 5 of us Wii U owners to the world of Minecraft. And with versions releasing on the new Nintendo 3DS and Switch years later, it was only fitting for the game to eventually appear in Super Smash Bros. And the announcement of Steve coming to Smash was so legendary, it literally caused Twitter to crash. Negotiations to include Minecraft content in the game began 5 years prior to the character's reveal. And this is purely speculation on our part, but considering Minecraft first released on Wii U in 2015, and Steve would eventually be announced in 2020, it's likely negotiations for the character likely started around the time Nintendo first began discussing the possibility of Minecraft coming to Wii U in the first place. Minecraft marks the second IP to come from Microsoft, although it started off as an indie game before their acquisition. While figuring out the concept for Steve's moveset was said to be relatively simple, actually programming him into the game turned out to be a headache for the development team. Every stage needed to be reworked to accommodate placing blocks, placing them, where the boundaries would be, and what surfaces would grant which materials. The Enderman was also said to have made development more difficult, as Sakurai noticed they'd blend into the background on darker stages. One of the more ambitious ideas that unfortunately didn't make the cut was the idea to import real player worlds from Minecraft into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. While the concept was cool, ultimately the dev team realized it would take too long to implement. Also, Steve's victory animation had to be changed in an update. Probably don't need to explain why.
Sephiroth wins! Oh no, he's hot!
By now, it's widely known that several characters from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate made their way into the game thanks to the fighter ballot. While gathering results to decide who to be the last character in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, Sakurai noticed a large majority of results were coming from Final Fantasy. Among these, it was estimated somewhere around a quarter to one-third of the total requests for Final Fantasy characters were specifically asking for Cloud. So when Nintendo sent a list of potential characters to include in the game's second Fighter Pass, Sakurai saw the opportunity to bring in more Final Fantasy content. While the team would still need to follow a development schedule, they'd have more time to negotiate the music rights when including the next character. Which begs the question, of all Final Fantasy characters, why Sephiroth? While we don't have a clear answer as to why exactly, it's safe to assume Final Fantasy VII Remake may be part of the reason. With the characters being introduced to a new generation, and Sephiroth playing the primary role in the remake, it's safe to assume this may be one of the bigger reasons. That, and just, it's Sephiroth. He's like one of the most badass RPG villains of all time, and that reveal trailer was the most hyped moment in Smash history. Well, until...
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because... I got an invitation to join Smash!
Yep, Pyra and Mythra are easily my favorite Smash newcomers. Ever. I mean, seriously, you get 2 waifus for the price of 1, and they're so much fun to play as, and they're super hot. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is my favorite games of all time, and I'm super happy it's Pyra Mythra instead of Rex because even though he's a cool character, Pyra Mythra are definitely the main character of Xenoblade 2. And their amiibo looks super awesome, I can finally put my Xenoblade waifus in a jar, and... Yes. Anyway. A Xenoblade newcomer was inevitable for Ultimate's DLC. Monolith Soft is a very important developer for Nintendo, helping out with several of their beloved games like The Legend of Zelda and Animal Crossing. So it was only fitting to see somebody from their newest game make the roster. When Ultimate was first coming out, however, Sakurai made it clear that they couldn't include anybody from Xenoblade 2 or ARMS, as both games were announced long after the game's base roster was finalized. And while late additions to the roster have appeared in every game, it'd be more difficult to achieve that with a more unique character. So when it was decided to add more content with Fighter Pass 2, Sakurai took the opportunity to include new fighters from both games. Sakurai's original idea was to have Rex working together alongside Pyra and Mythra, acting as a duo character similar to the Ice Climbers. However, getting the Ice Climbers to work in an 8-player Smash was difficult enough, even with their simple character designs. And with Pyra and Mythra having some of the most detailed designs in the game, yeah, that'd be very difficult to pull off. So Rex now appears in taunts and victory screens. For every Smash trailer prior to Pyra and Mythra, Sakurai would write the script for the reveal trailer and work together with the animation studios involved in putting together the CGI segments. This, however, was the first time Sakurai himself had little to do with the reveal trailer, as he was impressed with the quality and quantity of Xenoblade 2's cutscenes and felt Monolith Soft was better suited for planning out the trailer. And one final note, Sakurai's favorite between the two is Pyra. A true man of culture. Sakurai had been considering a Tekken character since Super Smash Bros. 4, with Heiichi being strongly considered for the roster. However, translating Tekken gameplay into a Smash setting would prove itself difficult, and so he was dropped in favor of Ryu. For Ultimate, Sakurai tried again, this time decided on Kazuya instead of Heiichi due to his Devil Gene offering more interesting gameplay potential. Kazuya's normal form would be used for standard attacks, while he transformed into Devil Kazuya for special moves. The interesting thing to note about this is that had Heiichi been chosen, he would have been the only video game character in history to appear in both Super Smash Bros. And PlayStation All-Stars. Alongside Steve, the competitive scene has seriously considered banning Kazuya from tournaments. His zero-to-death combos and wide range of moves give him very few reliable counterpicks in competitive play. At the time of this video's release, no decisions have been made. Those opposed to Kazuya's ban have argued it's still too early to decide, pointing out that fewer players have actually consistently gotten higher tournament rankings compared to top-tier characters in previous games, such as Meta Knight in Brawl and Bayonetta in Smash 4. And also, sorry for ruining this, but Ganondorf's face just looks super derpy in the reveal trailer.
Let's go.
Towards the end of development for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, Sakurai had set up the fighter ballot where fans could submit requests for upcoming fighters. While originally intended to help decide on the last character for Smash 4, the results would go on to introduce several characters into the series. Long-awaited fan requests like Ridley and King K. Rool would appear in Ultimate. Cloud made it into Smash 4 due to the high number of suggestions coming specifically for Final Fantasy characters. Bayonetta was originally stated to be the #1 most requested character out of negotiable and realizable characters. At the time though, Sakurai chose not to reveal the results out of concern that fans would bombard other companies with requests for characters who wouldn't be able to make it into the game. So when the final character was revealed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it was confirmed the #1 most requested character from the fighter ballot was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Whether or not Sora could make it into the game in the first place was widely discussed among fans. While he was a video game character, the rights to him actually belonged to Disney, a company well known for being highly protective over their IPs, to the point where a common rumor in the fanbase had claimed Sora was meant to appear in Ultimate, but Disney said no. To the surprise of many though, Disney was actually fully on board. Turns out it was Tetsuya Nomura who was hesitant to allow Sora at first. With Kingdom Hearts already being a complicated universe filled with worlds crossing over with each other, Nomura was concerned over what Sora's inclusion in Smash could mean for Kingdom Hearts lore. His opinions changed after seeing the positive feedback for Sora's announcement. Sora's inclusion was made possible thanks to a chance encounter with a Disney representative, which if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts history, that seems like a learning trend. While Sakurai wasn't more specific on when it happened beyond saying a certain Games Award venue, it's likely this happened at the 2019 Tokyo Game Show. Disney themselves weren't too involved in Sora appearing in Ultimate, outside of the request for him to be shaking Mario's hand at the end of the reveal trailer. And for one final fun fact, let's discuss something interesting regarding all the DLC characters. To keep their identities a secret but allow data to be patched into the game early, every DLC character has a code name in the game's code, all of which are displayed on screen. Some notable ones being Piranha Plant using its Japanese name Pakun, Pyra and Mythra together being named Element, while Pyra alone is E-Flame and Mythra is E-Light, etc. When the game launched, references to Pakun and Jack were already in the code, at a point in time where we already knew about Piranha Plant and Joker, alongside Brave, who at the time wasn't announced yet, but fans had speculated would be a Dragon Quest character. That's all for today, but don't forget to check out our other gaming gallery videos. Included on screen will be a link to part 1, where every previous narrator in the channel's history discussed trivia for every character prior to Min Min. We've got some more videos coming soon, so don't forget to subscribe, or something like that. I've been your host for today, L8RG8R2U. If you'd like to hear more of my dumb voice, there'll be a link to my Tomb Raider Let's Play on screen, because Laura Croft for Smash Pretty Plays, I've been asking for this for years. Thank you for watching this episode of the Gaming Gallery, and remember that in our hearts, we are gamers.